Hello, welcome to the Information Systems Welcome Workshop. This is something that we require all of our new admits to the Huntsman School of Business. So whether you're like a transfer student, this is your first time here, or you maybe been at Utah State for a little bit and a major outside the Huntsman School, this is to help you with just kind of learning more about your new major, just some of the basics that we cover, and then also be able to meet your success team. Meeting your team here. So my name's Nick. I am the academic advisor for the major. So I help with getting you to graduation. So like picking out classes, ways to get involved, kind of just answering your general questions. And if I don't know, kind of just referring you to the appropriate resource. And then Valerie is your career coach. So Valerie is like the what's next, like what can you do with an information systems major. So like we understand that, like, great, you're going to graduate. That's what we want. But we also want to make sure when you graduate, you have that full-time job offer in hand as well. So that's kind of the difference between like what I do as an academic advisor and then kind of what Valerie does as a career coach. So if you have like academic questions, come to me. If you have questions about careers, go to Valerie. And then if you're a statewide campus student watching this, your academic advisor is Amanda. She is great. She's super knowledgeable, but you can meet with her. She's based in the Brigham City campus. So if you're close there, you can go in person. But if you live a little bit farther away, she does appointments like via Zoom, phone as well. But if you do still have career related questions, still contact Valerie. She is the career coach for all of our students. Doesn't matter if you're a Logan main campus student or a statewide student. Next is our appointment policy. So the QR code you see on the screen there is how you can schedule an appointment with me or Valerie. So like right now is a good time. If you want to schedule an appointment, pause the video, take out your phone, scan it, and schedule that appointment. We do have a grace period of 10 minutes for any like unforeseen delays or stuff you might encounter before the appointment. So that just kind of means like if your appointment's like, let's say, for example, at 2:00, you have 10 minutes after that start time to show up for your appointment before we mark you as a no-show, or you're going to have to reschedule. The reason we have that set up like that is our appointments are 30 minutes. So it's for respect for other students that we might have right after you. So we're not taking time out of their appointment, as well as kind of just respect for our advisors and our career coaches' time as well, because really once you get past that first like 10 minutes, it kind of makes it pretty hard to even try to get something done in 20 minutes or even less than that. So please just schedule something that works for you and whatnot. And then like the next bullet point says, right, if you arrive more than 10 minutes late, you got to reschedule. And then lastly, just something to be aware of. If you do schedule a phone appointment, just remember you're required to call in. We don't call you for those appointments. That's just because when you call in for that appointment, that just indicates to me or Valerie that you're ready for that appointment and you're like maybe focused, have your questions, you're prepared. So then we're not calling you and catching you off guard that maybe you forgot or something about it. So that's why we make you call in for the appointments. And then next, just a little bit of appointment etiquette. Make sure to be scheduling a time that works best for you. So like, right, don't skip class to meet with us, even though like, yes, we want to meet with you and stuff, but make sure you're scheduling time that isn't going to take away from you going to the class or other important things that you have. And then cancel the appointment if needed. We know things come up, so try to cancel it ahead of time if you can, but we also understand that there's times where life happens and the last thing on your mind is your meeting with Valerie or myself. If you do schedule a Zoom or a phone appointment, just make sure you have like minimal distractions or noises. Like for example, like don't be driving if you're like calling in the phone or Zoom. Like one, that's dangerous. We don't need you to get in an accident during our appointment. So if you are driving and you remember that you have an appointment, pull over to the side of the road, do the appointment before you start driving. Or like don't be doing chores or things like that. Try to be focused on like what we're doing so you can get the most out of the appointment. And then lastly, just make sure to find like a quiet place for the meeting. So don't be having like a whole lot of people in the background talking and whatnot, right? Because we're talking about like sensitive data. We're talking about data specific to you. So we don't need like everybody in the background knowing what's going on with your academics as well. Next, just dress appropriately, right? We're a professional setting, professional office, so make sure to dress appropriately. But also, like in the Huntsman School, we have employers that are constantly coming in and out throughout the week. So making sure to dress like to make a good first impression is important as well. And then lastly, just kind of be prepared with your questions and whatnot. Sometimes we know that you might not really know those questions, but it is helpful if you do come prepared with questions. So then we can make the most out of your time with us. Next, student privacy. You might hear something like FERPA, or you might be asked about like your security phrase or delegate. So FERPA is an act that was set up by the government that protects your student data, so not anybody can get it, type of thing. So if you schedule like a phone appointment, or if you're on Zoom and you decide not to turn on your camera, we might ask you for something like your security phrase, just so then we know you're the right person that we're supposed to be talking to, and not giving information just to like some random person that's calling in to try to like see what progress you have. And then next, delegates. So delegates is if you want like your parents, a significant other, a family member, anybody to be able to see your like academic records, academic stuff here that we have on file at Utah State. They'll need to be a delegate. That's again just to protect you. We know that some students, they want their parents involved, some don't. So if you're planning on going on like an LDS mission, having your parents set up as a delegate is really good, because then if they do help with like registration when you're still gone on your mission, they will need to be that delegate. Next, your student A number email. This is super important to be checking at least once in the morning and once at night, so then you're not missing anything important. This is where all the official like corresponding from the university will come from as well. So this is where if I have like something about your schedule that I need to talk with, or Valerie is sending out an email maybe about an internship opportunity, this is where you'll be able to find that. Also, we want you to be emailing us from this, because it is kind of that FERPA protected email. So then we know if you're emailing from that A number email that it's you as a student, so we don't have to kind of go through extra security measures to be able to answer your question. So just a little bit quicker response time to this email as well. Also, this email typically doesn't get filtered to a junk folder. So if you email from like a Gmail or something like that, sometimes that does get sent to the junk folder. And I'm not the greatest at checking it. Professors aren't the greatest at checking that. So just make sure to always email from your A number email. And then next, as we transition to kind of me passing it over to Valerie here, our start desk is kind of really one of the last things about it with our student success team. So this is where our student mentors will sit down throughout the day to help answer any like quick questions that you might have about like your academics or careers. Like they can do resume reviews, they can give you suggestions for professors, classes that like for general education that you might need to take or want to take. They can kind of help you give a nice student perspective on things.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nick. I'm so happy to be here with you, even though this is a virtual format and asynchronous. I like to start my portion of the presentation off with a question related to my purpose as a career coach. And that question is, would you like to have a job offer by the time you graduate? I hope the answer is an emphatic yes, because that is my goal and hope for you as well. And we're going to talk about some of the steps that you can complete that will help you land that competitive job offer by the time you graduate. And one of the best ways that I can help you is if you will meet with me and help me get to know you, what your goals are, and then we can identify any areas that I can provide some additional support that will help you hone and polish your skills so that, again, you'll be ready for that job offer by the time you graduate. Next up, what I'm going to talk about is some of the steps that will help you along this roadmap, not just to graduation, but really think of it as the roadmap or a checklist of what you can do that will help you receive that full-time job offer by the time you graduate. You can look on the right-hand side to see some of the bullets of things that I can do to help you with that. Career exploration is definitely one where we can identify your skills, interests, and strengths. We can also focus on building a strong resume and LinkedIn profile, which are critical in opening that door for the interview. I can help you with tips and strategies for interviewing, and then I'm going to backtrack a bullet And then that interview will help you land your internships, your part-time jobs, and again, that competitive full-time offer by the time you graduate. We can also help you networking, which is really just connecting with employers. And you can do that through opportunities provided to you at Huntsman School of Business, such as employer visits, job shadowing, or even informational interviews. And so, what's a career specialist? And I'm going to rope Nick into this as well. We're really your success team. And so, think of us as your personal guides during your roadmap to graduation and job offer. Nick is really going to help you with graduation, and I'm going to help you with that job offer. And as you can see in red also, the time to start is now, right now. I promise it's not too early. If you're not sure what to talk about, Nick and I can guide you. And when I meet with seniors for the first time, unfortunately, it's really difficult to pack in 4 years of experience into 1 year. So start now and you'll be so glad you did. Your senior self will thank you. Okay, next up, there are currently 3 emphases within information systems. The first is data engineering. And for each of the slides, you're going to see there are column headers that talk about the functional area, job titles that align with those functional areas. And this is just a sampling of some of the functional areas within each of the emphases. The first one was data engineering. The second emphasis is cybersecurity. And the last one I'm going to talk about or just show you is web development. And so as we meet individually, we can talk about the skills, interests, characteristics, and tools typically used for each of these, and then you can help see which best aligns with where you are and what you might want to do. And it might even change as you continue to learn and to grow, but know that this is information that we have available and that I can share with you when we meet. Next up, I want to talk about using minors as career accelerators. Do you need to complete a minor? No, you don't. But depending on your interests and where you want to go, minors can truly help you accelerate your career goals because it will show your added areas of interest and also where IS is so broad, you can fine tune your niche or area that you want to focus on with a minor. And some common minors, well, let me backtrack. In the Huntsman School of Business, we have more than 20 minors to choose from. And so some common pairings are, I should have changed information systems to data analytics since you're currently an IS major, so scratch that. The first bullet should be data analytics. Then accounting, marketing, entrepreneurship. Do you have any others you'd add, Nick?
Yeah, the other one that I would add that I've seen is finance as well. Finance is a common one that I see a lot of our students getting into, especially like our data engineering students. For cybersecurity, I would say our anticipatory intelligence minor is another common one I've seen within our cybersecurity emphasis students add. That one is based really if you're interested in more getting into like government work, national security, and whatnot. Um, a lot of students like to add that within our majors too. So there are some other minors that are available and are offered to you. So yeah, minor is not required for graduation, so don't feel pressured to do a minor. But if you are going to do a minor, let's just make sure we're being intentional with it, so it can help with kind of that career development and really complement your major. But you're also more than welcome to do any minor that you like. If there's one that you're just like, I really want to do this for fun, because I want to take a couple classes that are just based on some of your hobbies, then yeah, we can do that too. So, but minors, yeah, are a really good way to kind of give you a little bit more in depth on maybe a topic that you might not want to major in.
Excellent, perfect. Okay, next up, internships. Another topic I love to talk about. And for you information system students, it's also required. And so I encourage you to do internships, to do them early, to do them often. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those internships. So as you do them early, do them often, you'll gain the experience you need to help you be competitive. This will demonstrate to employers that you can apply what you've been learning, not just that you can go to school, take tests well, and get a high GPA. They really want students who have done above the minimum requirement and have applied your learning. Second thing, it's phenomenal to help you network. This is an opportunity where you do an internship or even a part-time job. For internships are typically 12 to 15 weeks. You could have a part-time job that's ongoing, that's related to your major. This is a great opportunity to do some networking, to build relationships with professionals who can help you either end up getting a job at that company or a follow-on internship, or at least be a reference for you when you do look for that next position. And the yellow rectangle you'll see, this will provide direction. So again, when I talk about internships, I'm typically referring to paid opportunities. Sometimes students will choose a non-paid internship or work experience that gives you that application of what you're learning, and that's not a bad thing if the opportunity is right. I typically, though, will encourage students to do those paid roles. And just know that doing internships is really a unique thing to your time here in college. Once you graduate, it's really difficult to do internships because typically one of the requirements is that you're part of a 4-year accredited university. The next thing you'll see in the blue rectangle is that completing internships or part-time jobs help with your confidence, not just in actually doing the job, but also in articulating your skills and experience in your resume and in your interviews. And that will really help give you a leg up as you're looking for your next role also. And then finally, internships, part-time job opportunities, again, really lead to those follow-on offers. And again, what is my purpose as a career coach? Really to help you get that full-time offer when you graduate. And hopefully that's your goal as well. So next up, oh, and again, required. Like I am the queen of redundancy, required or required. Do it. And let's start earlier rather than later. Okay, next thing I want to talk about are clubs. And these are the clubs affiliated with, you'll see this acronym often. It's DAISSA, D-A-I-S-S-A. It stands for the Data Analytics and Information Systems Student Associations. You can see on the screen, there are a lot. I'll let you pause the screen and read the bullets down below to kind of talk about what are some of the benefits of club involvement. You can see there are 25 plus clubs. So the clubs I have represented here are really just the ones specific to AIS, to information systems. AIS is the first one I want to talk about. It's the top left circle, and it stands for Association for Information Systems. This is an international professional organization that people in data analytics may be part of. We're fortunate enough to have a student chapter here on campus. Our student chapter has been recognized nationally as #1 for many years. Another club you may be a part of is the AI Club. The next club going across the top is Sports Analytics. This is not our Sports Analytics logo. I just grabbed one off of LinkedIn to have a placeholder to show that we do have a Sports Analytics Club. It was new on campus last year, so if that's your interest, look for them. And then next we have Baddies in Tech, also not their logo. They're rebranded for this coming year, and I haven't seen their logo yet. So look for them if you're interested. And then the next on the bottom row represents the Analytics Solution Center. Hopefully you will hear this repeatedly throughout your time here at Huntsman. We often abbreviate it as the ASC. There are a couple aspects of the ASC. One, it's an opportunity where students can complete paid jobs, which will count for your internship experience. And when I say job, it's part-time. And so that's a really great opportunity to build relationships with companies and also get mentored by our phenomenal faculty. Another component of the ASC is what they call innovation labs. This year, they're going to hold events every Monday and Thursday. And during these times, they're going to focus on building skills, helping you do some career exploration, helping you have networking opportunities, they'll bring industry professionals in, and they will talk about their companies, any job opportunities. So that's great for career exploration and again for networking. You'll also have the opportunity to work on a personal project if you're interested and get some help from our faculty mentors, as well as maybe jump on a fellow student project or vice versa. So super amazing resource. Be sure to utilize it. You'll be glad that you did. Next is Hack USU, and this is a phenomenal resource to students that happens every February. It's a 24-hour competition. It's a great opportunity to be involved in a competition. It's great for your resume. You can also attend workshops. The department brings a lot of companies on campus to talk about their companies, and again, great for networking. And I talk about networking all the time, and that's because it really is or can be a separator for getting that job offer by the time you graduate. Last logo is for cybersecurity. So their club is super active as well. So, and clubs are super important. You can also get involved in leadership opportunities, and then recruiters and employers look at clubs as something that distinguishes students who have done more than the minimum requirement. So it helps you stand out to be more competitive. And again, and another way to help you get that competitive job offer by the time you graduate. Okay, next up is this is a Canvas course, Dare Mighty Careers. You'll see it on your landing pages, Dare Mighty Data Analytics and Information Systems Careers. And there are 3 things that I want you to know about this DMC course, as we call it. First is the semester checklist. You have the opportunity to engage in activities your first semester. The first 10 who are verified will receive a gift card. Typically, Data IS students are among the most competitive, and so let's see if we can take the top 10 and beat all the other departments. So don't let your predecessors down. You guys are awesome. Second thing I want to talk about is announcements. There are 4 parts to the announcements I want you to be aware of. First, well, before I get into the first 4, is just know that for the announcements, this is how I communicate to you as students. I don't send you emails so that you don't feel spam. The announcements go out once a week on Wednesdays. And the first thing about the announcement to know is that I will curate all of the major specific events in that announcement in one place so you can quickly scan and see what you need to see. The second thing to know, this is where internships are listed. If companies send me an internship and say, hey, will you share it with students? This is where I put it. I don't gatekeep anything. The third thing to know about the announcements is you'll also find part-time and full-time job offers here. Same thing, if companies ask me to share it, this is where I put it. Fourth thing is, if you want to know how to get involved in clubs, I put all the links there. The third thing I want you to know about Dare Mighty Careers is the resources. There are modules for all of the career readiness topics that we have, such as career exploration, resume review, how to find internships and jobs, how to interview, and how to network. So be sure to check it out. Ask me if you have any questions. In the essence of time, I'm moving right along. There are some other resources available to you at Huntsman School of Business. International experience is one of the pillars of Huntsman School to help students with that. The first thing we have is global learning experiences. Now on here is also SEED, but both of those opportunities will allow you to travel internationally, either for a week up to a semester. They're really made to be economical for students, and there are also scholarships available to help you have one of those experiences. Next one I want to talk about is the second one, Focus Friday events. Typically, Huntsman School does not have activities on Fridays, and that's specifically to give you time to develop yourself professionally and take advantage of these opportunities here on campus. We'll typically have our career expo in the fall and mock interview day in the spring semester. The last one I'm going to talk about, I'll let you read the description, but it's in the middle of the screen. It's the Huntsman Hive. This is new this year, and this will be an opportunity or a space for students to really meet. And it's going to be in the newest of the Huntsman buildings, which is just east of Huntsman Hall. So make sure you check it out, see what's going on, connect with fellow students. It'll be amazing. Last screen before I hand it back over to Nick. This is basically some of the items on our checklist to our road to getting a full-time job offer by the time you graduate. And so check off the list. I won't spend more time on it. Come meet with me. I'll hand it over to Nick.
So yeah, you can Just you can pause the video at any time throughout this presentation too, if there's just information that we just kind of quickly glanced over. But then again, just reach out to me or Valerie too if you have any questions about really anything that we've talked today. On the screen right now, you do see some of the minimum graduation requirements that you need to complete. So for your general education and depth education, come meet with me so we can talk about those, because there is stuff within the information system majors that will cover some of your gen ed requirements and your depth education requirements. So we don't want you taking classes that you don't want to, like, don't need to take or don't have to take if you don't need to. Then lastly, 2.5 GPA or higher is required to be able to graduate from the Huntsman School of Business. So just kind of being aware of that. That's a little bit higher than just what USU requires. Next, the business acumen is a list of like 17 classes that you take to, one, make you a well-rounded business person upon graduation, but also allow you to explore your different options that you have in the Huntsman School. So let's say you're like, I know I want business, but I don't really know what. Information system kind of sounded cool, but it's not what I'm set on. Typically, we'll have you start with the business acumen and kind of getting just kind of a feel for everything. And it's a really good way to be able to kind of weed out what you want to do and what you don't want to do and kind of your areas of interest that we offer in the business school. And the next major requirement, so like Valerie says about the internship requirement, so the class is IS 4250. So an internship and job in their data analytics and information system field, and instructor approval is required for registration. Just kind of be aware that the class doesn't provide you with internship placements. So that's why we want you to meet with Valerie to utilize that resource so she can help you with finding internships and kind of getting your resume set up to do that as well. And that must be taken concurrently with your internship experience unless pre-approved by the professor. Otherwise, that's just because the class is really just based off of what you're doing in your internship, and the assignments are based off of what you're learning in that internship. So that's why we want you to take it concurrently. Two other classes I like to highlight that are within the major are your Data 3500 and your Data 3330. So these two classes you take regardless of what emphasis that you're in. 3500 is Intro to Python, and 3330 is our database management class, or I like to refer to it sometimes as like your Intro to SQL class. And these two classes are really good if you're kind of like nervous on like, okay, what am I really doing with information systems and whatnot? Or if you're like, want to really start getting involved more with like the ASC or internships or anything like that. We've had students tell us that taking these two classes really gives them that like confidence and also the technical skills that they really do need for getting involved with things. And then an emphasis area is required. So one of the emphasis in either data engineering, cybersecurity, or web development is required for graduation. You're more than welcome to do more than one emphasis, but just kind of remember that you at least need to do one. And the reason we do have the emphasis there is because we want to make sure you do have like a specific focus area and it's not just like broad in what you're learning. And then next, DegreeWorks. If you want to learn more about DegreeWorks, come meet with me. DegreeWorks is just a quick rundown checklist of what you need to do for graduation. You can use that as a major exploration tool. And also this is where when you do meet with me, this is where I put suggested classes. And if you request your graduation plan, that's where I'll house this as well. Repeat policy. So in the business school, you're allowed to take any of our business classes up to a total of 2 times. The grade will reflect your most recent attempt at a class. So just kind of be aware if, like, let's say you get a C in a class, maybe that's not up to your standard of your grades and you want to do better. Sometimes I've seen students who retake a class and end up failing it, and then they got to retake it again. So if you do need a third attempt at any of our business classes, you will need to appeal to be able to take a class for that third time. And the reason we have that is just so it's kind of a fail safe that we have in place, just so we can talk and like meet with you and see kind of what's going on and kind of like what's happening within classes or maybe even your life and how we can maybe help you moving forward. And then just kind of some more stuff to kind of quickly go over here. Registration calendars come meet with me and I can kind of show you where those are housed. And those are important just because those are any important dates that have to do with that registration, like when registration opens, add drop, anything like that. Wait list, importance of checking your student A number email, just because if you do get off a wait list for a class, you get that sent there. Freshman Academy, this is a really good class to take if this is your first time in the Huntsman School of Business, regardless of where you're at with things. And then follow us on Instagram at the Huntsman School of Business. This is really good because on the story they'll post like about events and things that are happening that are really good to get involved with. And then lastly, just kind of taking ownership, or kind of the last few things here, taking ownership in your education. Me and Valerie are here to help you, but we also, there's kind of some expectations for you to kind of understand what's going on and where you're at in the program and where you're at, and kind of taking advantage of those opportunities. And then check your transcript for any AP concurrent enrollment transfer classes have been applied. And then if you want to learn more about differential tuition, just reach out to me. And then next, here are our emails, and then also the Huntsman website. If you want to learn more information about anything, or you just want to email us, please email me and Valerie. And then finally, just kind of what's next. So this QR code that you see on the screen is what you need to fill out to get official participation for this workshop today. Just make sure to do it right away after you get done with this. On it, it's just pretty simple. It maybe takes 10 minutes. So please get this filled out. But thank you for attending the workshop today, and go Aggies.
And this is Valerie just signing off. We look forward to daring mighty with you too. Thanks.